Fact number 1. The strange arrival. In the 12th century, during the reign of King Stephen of England, an event occurred that would echo through the centuries. In the small village of Woolpit, Suffolk, 2 children were discovered standing near a wolf pit, confused, frightened, and most peculiarly green. The villagers stared in disbelief. These children were unlike and they had seen before. Their skin had a distinct green hue. They wore clothes made from unfamiliar materials and they spoke in a completely unintelligible language. The children appeared weak and malnourished, and no one had any idea where they had came from. Fact number 2. A village caught in mystery. Woolpit was a religious and superstitious village surrounded by farmland and folklore. Wolf pits, from which the village gets its name, were traps used to capture wolves. The appearances of these green children near such a place only added to the aura of mystery. Some thought it was an omen, others whispered of fairies and other worldly visitors. The village had never seen anything like it, yet despite the fear of confusion, the villagers did not harm them. They brought them into the community trying to care for them. Fact number 3. They refused to eat. From the moment they were taken in, the children refused all offered food, bread, fruit, meat. Nothing was acceptable. They seemed terrified and on the verge of collapse until someone offered them raw broad beans. To everyone's amazement, the children eagerly devoured them. For days, they survived on nothing but beans, slowly regaining their strength. Over time, they began to accept more food and gradually adapted to the village diet. As they did, their green skin began to fade. Fact number 4. Tragedy strikes early. Despite the villagers' care, the boy's health rapidly declined. Not long after being baptized, the young boy died, leaving behind his sister as the sole witness to their origins. The girl survived and over time began to learn and speak English. With her newfound ability to communicate, she shared their story, a story that raised even more questions than answers. Fact number 5. A world of eternal twilight. According to the girl, she and her brother came from a place called St. Martin's Land. It was a world unlike ours, where the sun never rose fully and everything was bathed in a soft twilight glow. The people there were green like them, and they lived in a peaceful, strange society. She described how one day while herding their father's cattle, they heard a sound of bells ringing in the distance. Entranced, they followed the sound through a long dark tunnel. They walked for what felt like hours until they emerged into the bright, blinding daylight of Woolpit. Disoriented, they were found by villagers near the wolf pits. Fact number 6. Did they came from underground? The girl's description led some to believe they had emerged from a subterranean world, St. Martin's Land, with its eternal twilight and strange green people sounded like a hidden realm beneath our own. The tunnel they described could have been a cavern or ancient underground passage. In medieval folklore, the idea of hollow earth civilizations was not uncommon. Could this have been a rare glimpse into such a hidden society? Fact number 7. The alien theory. As centuries passed and science fiction emerged, a new theory took shape. What if they were not from Earth at all? The green skin, the unknown language, the metallic clothing, all were hallmarks of alien encounter stories. Some theorists proposed that the children were extraterrestrial beings who had somehow arrived on Earth through a wormhole or crashed spacecraft. Their aversion to Earth food and dependence on raw beans could point to biological incompatibility. Was Woolpit the site of the forgotten alien encounter? Fact number 8. A possible time travel phenomenon. Another idea that has gained popularity in recent years is that the children were time travelers. The descriptions given by the girl of their home and journey resemble accounts of time slips or interdimensional portals. If they had came from Earth, could it have been from the distant future or an alternate dimension? Their confusion and inability to communicate would make sense if they were displaced in time. But if that's true, why were they children? Were they accidental travelers? Fact number 9. Science tries to make sense. Modern historians and scientists have proposed more grounded explanations. Some suggest that the children may have been Flemish refugees who had fled war or persecution. Their green skin might have been caused by hypochromic anemia, a condition linked to malnutrition and lack of iron, which causes a greenish hue. The unknown language could have simply been a foreign dialect if they had been lost living off the land in fear. It could explain their behavior and diet, but even the theory cannot explain how no one recognized their clothing or origins. Fact number 10, recorded in history books. This isn't just an old fairy tale whispered from one generation to the next. The story of the Green Children was recorded by two respected 10th century chroniclers, William of Newburgh and Ralph of Cockshall. They included the account in their historical writings, showing that even educated men of their time were convinced something strange had happened. Their accounts were written decades apart, yet both included strikingly similar details, leading credibilities to the core events. Fact number 11. The girl grows up. The girl, later baptized and named Agnes, eventually became a part of English society. She worked in the household of her adopter, Sir Richard D. Calney. Records even suggest she married a royal official named Richard Barry. If true, it means her bloodline might continue to this day. Descendants of the Green Children claim to come from another world. Fact number 12. Were they fairy folklore experts have linked the Green Children to the stories of fairies and changelings. In medieval times, it was believed that fairies occasionally left their own children in place of human ones. The green skin, the aversion to sunlight, and the mysterious arrival all aligned with traditional fairy lore. Were they not alien or lost children, but supernatural beings temporarily trapped in our world? Fact number 13. Was it a parable or allegory? Some historians believe the tale in an allegory perhaps is represented xenophobia, fear of outsiders and foreigners. The green screen could have been a metaphor, and the children's strangeness a symbol of cultural otherness. Alternatively, it could have been a religious parable about baptism and conversion. The children only began to thrive after baptism and integration into Christian life. Fact number 14. Pop culture and modern legacy. Today, the story continues to inspire novels, TV shows, films, and documentaries. The village of Woolpit still exists, and the mystery continues to attract curious visitors, paranormal investigators, and folklorists. The legend has endured for over 800 years, and each new generation brings fresh theories to the mystery. Fact number 15. The unsolved mystery. Despite all the explanations, scientific, supernatural, and speculative, no one truly knows who the Green Children were. No historical record pinpoints their origin, and no archaeological evidence has ever solved the case. All we are left with is a strange fairy tale that refuses to fade. Fact number 16. Final thought. What if it was real? If the Green Children of Woolpit really came from another world, whether underground, outer space, or the future, what does that say about our understanding of reality? Could it be that the world we know is just a fraction of what truly exists? The Green Children remain one of the history's strangest and the most haunting unsolved cases. Subscribe for more interesting and mysterious videos. Thanks for watching.